welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, rather than doing my typical reviews of books and things, I'm going to be talking about a learning resource. We're going to be talking a little bit about Outschool. Now, I have not used Outschool for my daughter yet, but I'm planning to coming this later this fall. Now, this is a current video. What I mean by that is I do my book reviews and my film reviews like massively in advance. And by that I mean I'm working on 2024 right now. 2024 is planned out. I am working on Animorphs. Strangely enough, I've done the Dunvalley, which is the December of 2024 children's books already. I've done some of my like history stuff already because a bunch of children's books. So, and that is all being filmed and worked on right now. And you guys are seeing this release soon. So I'm filming this on the 29th of May. You guys will be seeing this Wednesday. This is Memorial Day. And there is more of a reason for this. Why am I suddenly doing Outschool? Now, Outschool is an online homeschooling platform where essentially the teachers are independent contractors, and they do go through a check. I have done this recently, which is why I'm kind of doing this. I am starting to work on Outschool myself, so I will kind of give you a walkthrough of what it takes to be a teacher on Outschool. So you send in an application which includes a video. They want to know what you're doing, full name, full first name, last name. They want to know your credentials. You don't necessarily have to prove your credentials, but they want to know your credentials. If you're doing some more advanced stuff, I'm doing storytimes and book groups. As of right now. Right now I'm starting off with storytime because that's what I know. If you have some more advanced stuff, they do kind of require credentials, but you give them an outline of the type of class you want to do. You do a demo video, you send that in. They do a background check. After that, they like you. It happens to go really, really fast for me. They do a background check. You have to send in your driver's license and stuff, to prove your identity kind of thing. So they do check, and they do a background check, and they probably do a decent size one, particularly because you don't want pedophiles on here. So they do a background check on there. And then you do basically what I have scheduled for next month, which is your first lesson or your first class. I am doing a story time on, I believe it's scheduled, and I will do the link for it. The 16th of June is when I'm doing mine. And I'm just doing a children's story time. I will link it below. But again, that's kind of, if you're doing some more advanced classes, they do want your credentials. They do want you to post credentials. I have not posted my degrees, which, yes, you can actually see sitting there behind me. I'm going to move the camera just a little bit. So what you see there is, the one you can barely see is my bachelor's degree. And let me see. My master's degree is on top, and the actual thing below there is not a degree. It is my my Peace Corps certificate, signed by former President Obama, congratulating me for completing my Peace Corps service. So it is one of the proofs I have of my, besides my description of service, my DS, my Peace Corps DS form, which is basically, it's my description of service. It's the official document that proves that I was and describes what I did as a Peace Corps volunteer. So that was one of the things I put on my little application for it. So that's kind of, but if you're teaching more advanced classes, they do require credentials. So these are going to be upper level courses. But what I really, and I've looked at Outschool before, What I really like about it is it offers a wide variety of classes, and I have their website, and I will link it to here. Besides, they do story times. They do children's books groups. I'm gonna do a quick, just kind of looking at it. Now, these are showing my daughter is age 3. So for the little ones, I mean, they have adventures in preschool and preschool, pre-K, and kindergarten readiness. These, now you do pay for these classes. So the one that I described is $10 per class. I think I'm doing about $10 for mine as well. And Outschool takes about 35% of that. So people are not earning a ton of money. Typically for the older classes, they're going to be about 18 to 20. So then there's a Phonics Under the Sea for Beginners class. That's about $15. And these classes are small. Typically, I think the max number of kids in their classes is maybe 8. And that's no matter what. So for the rest of the, and I'm just kind of looking at various different classes. Now, these are all live and online. So you have interaction. Like, I will be doing a story time in person. Parents will be able to interact with me when they sign up for this class. So, and the kids will be able to interact with you. So that is definitely something. For my daughter, one of the things that I'm probably gonna try to do is get her into a Spanish class, because while we are doing one this summer through our City of Phoenix programming, we can't continue when school starts because of the timing. And when she is still in our developmental preschool, she's going to do one more year of that before we join a co-op for kindergarten and see how that works. But I want her to be able to be bilingual, and this is the prime time to do it. So I'm going to try to put her in an Outschool class so she can continue working on her Spanish. So let's see what else. I mean, again, what I have up here is little kid stuff. Yeah, there is a Spanish ABC circle time for 3 to 7-year-olds, which happens like 3 times a week. This is all the summer stuff. And this is about 25 minutes, $12. Yeah, a lot of these, particularly for the littles, it's learn to read with phonics, sight words, and friends. There's a 40-minute. A lot of these are 25 to 30 minutes for the littles. I can always jump up to age. Let me jump up to age 8 here to kind of give you another idea of what's going on. So they have a 4th grade math course with a licensed teacher. They have a wild and unstructured 3rd grade full curriculum. That's about 16 minutes. That's only about $16 per class. They have a 2nd grade full curriculum. They have hands-on Montessori inspired advanced math. So again, I put in an age level of 8. And these are about 40 minutes. That's about $17. There's phonics for students with dyslexia. That's a $16 class. That's a half an hour for 7 to 10-year-olds. Let's see. There's a Spanish Let's Read Stories, Developing Readers, which is a 25-minute class. Let's see what else we have here. Just kind of an idea of what they offer. We have a Spanish for beginners for 6 to 10-year-olds. Spanish immersion for elementary level for 7 to 12s. Lots of Spanish classes going on here. 1st grade reading success. That's a 6 to 8-year-old class. So they have a age range. And yes, so that's kind of, let's see if I can bump up. This goes to do another bump to 12-year-olds and see what they have for kind of the older kids here, just to kind of give you a little bit more of an idea. So 8th grade full curriculum, 4-day Japanese camp, more Spanish. There is other 6th grade readiness, more Spanish. Ready for advanced algebra summer boot camp. So creative writing classes here for 8 to 13-year-olds. Let's see. There's a science extraordinaire class, which is about 15 minutes for 7 to 12-year-olds. So science-based, lots of Spanish. Not as many. Again, this is all summer stuff. Let's do one more age jump and see what we have here, because this is up to 16. All Systems Go Introduction to Anatomy and Biology. And again, this is about $15. Master Algebra and 1 in 5 weeks summer camp. That's $21. That's 11 to 16. It's a 15-minute class. I'm guessing it's multiple in 5 weeks. So, ultimate science classes. U.S. Civics, American Civics, History of Government, Constitution, and Branches. So that's a $14 per class thing for 14 to 18-year-olds. Creative Writing and Film Studies, Creating Complex Characters, is a $20 class, again, for 14 to 18-year-olds. Japanese for Beginners. ASL2, which is American Sign Language. A Study of the Lord of the Flies. Private Mandarin Chinese. They also do private tutoring. So people doing the ACT exam cram, which is a highly expensive class. That's $38. That's the highest I've seen. As well as this Advanced Linguistic Structures and Sounds to Discourse. So that's a $34 class. But still, that's a good idea of what it has to offer. Again, I'm doing children's story times. I will eventually branch into doing book groups. That is my plan. This enables me as a parent, a homeschool parent, to earn a little bit of money doing something I enjoy. Because again, I do have that library degree. And it's a great way, of course, for my daughter and other children to be able to expand on their ideas, interact with live teachers, interact with other kids, make friends, linking with other children. So, and these classes, I believe, are mostly offered worldwide, as far as I know. The teachers are pretty much mostly the U.S., the UK, Ireland, I think in Australia and New Zealand, though the rules are a little bit different, and Canada. So just because those are the primary places where homeschool is done and is accepted. I have done some previous videos really when I first started, which might be a little rough, that talks about homeschooling laws. But the basics is, with the exception of the United Kingdom, Ireland, Canada, the US, Australia, and New Zealand, homeschooling is iffy throughout the rest of the world. It's there's a lot of Central Europe. It's like, no, not unless your kid is like severely disabled. Can they homeschool? I think Sweden will arrest you. So, and then a lot of the Asian countries, African countries, there's very few governments. Well, there's very few functioning governments, or they're not paying attention. It's not part of their culture. Whether it's legal or not, it's not common. So, in the U.S. and these other countries, the U.K. and Australia and stuff, there are rules. Of course, the U.S. is a complete mess, depending on where you are. Australia and Canada can be as well, because it varies from province to province. See if I can speak here. Province to province. So, and they can be a little, it varies. And of course, again, I said the U.S. is it's a mass where we go from California, New York, which is paperwork up the wazoo, to places like where I'm at, where there's not really any, it's like, let us know you're doing this, and then we don't care. To Texas and Oklahoma, which have no laws whatsoever. At least not on their books. You probably have to tell someone, because otherwise your child would be truant and there would be issues. But otherwise, as far as I know, there's no laws whatsoever. It's a complete free-for-all. But again, that's where the teachers are coming from. And again, they do have to go through a screening process. You do not have to worry. Um, and the rules, specific law is they do not want the teachers giving identifying information. They don't want the kids giving identifying information. It's the kids, I'm sure they can share and possibly communicate through message boards kind of thing. Again, I have a 3-year-old, so we haven't really done this yet, and she's too little to do that kind of thing anyway. And yes, you completely communicate through the platform, which is monitored. So it is safe, and it's not a free-for-all. And yeah, as far as I know, obviously Outschool is posting this. They are monitoring this. Teachers like me can get in trouble for various things. We have their rules of conduct kind of thing. So it is safe, it is useful, as long as they can be very extensive. I'm sure there are various teachers who are experts that are doing this, have either homeschooled their kids or they see this as a chance to share their knowledge while working from home. So you can get a lot more expertise from people who aren't necessarily trained teachers, people who are doctors, and people who are college professors who are doing this as a side gig, or retired, and they want something to do, and they find out about this, and they can give quite a bit of information. So it's really a fantastic, fantastic resource. And again, with the little kids, you can get native Spanish speakers or Mandarin Chinese or Japanese. I'm sure they take, I think I've seen Arabic on here as well. So you can have your kids take a wide variety of live lessons, really speaking with a native speaker, which is a little bit different than some of the online courses, because it's digitally in person. You're working this over Zoom. And yes, that is the program that they used. They use Zoom. So I am hoping mine works out well. One of the issues, if you do end up tuning in class, the way I record these, I have my Livier mic. The problem is my Livier mic will not work with Zoom because I have one outlet on my my laptop. So it's headphones or mic. So I do have a pair of, I am going to be using a combination of headphones and mic that are Bluetooth, and my tablet to play music. So we will hope and see how that works. If it doesn't, I can always readjust. So I will link both my class and my profile below, as well as the linking to Outschool. Again, my class, I'm just doing a children's story time and doing a half-an-hour little kids story time just to try this out, just to start off. Again, it's in the middle of summer. My kid is not in school. She may show up. I may have some cat problems. It's very much a test class, except for the fact that I do in fact know how to do a story time. I've just never done it digitally. I'm used to doing it in person. So you will, if you guys are interested, you're welcome to sign up. I think I only charged about $10 for, it's either $5 to $10. Let me see, what did I do? Bring this back up and go back to switching back and forth. I do not want to switch to Serafina. Clicking to the switch. So this is mine. Classes. Yeah, storytime, music, and dancing, which is the class that I am doing. Storytime with music and dancing. And it is at 2 o'clock on Friday, June 16th. There are only 6 spots. Let me see. There's obviously nobody signed up for it yet. It is a half an hour from 2 to 2:30 in the afternoon. And it's not showing me what I'm charging. I'm pretty sure. Let me pull up what I'm, yeah, I'm only charging $5. So it's just a one-time meetup thing. I'm only charging $5 because this is my first class. So I will post that below, along with a regular link to Outschool. I highly recommend it. It's a great resource for other experts. If you happen to be watching my channel, It's a great side gig. I mean, obviously, you're not going to earn a heck of a lot of money from it, at least not at first. But it's a good online platform if you want to try out teaching, if you want to work with kids, if you want to share your knowledge and kind of get out there in that sense. So, and it is a secular resource. They do not, you can get in trouble for promoting religion. You can teach religion in an academic sense, but in a historical sense, but it is a secular program. So, for those of you, hopefully, it's a non-religious thing. So that is it for this review of sort of an actual learning resource. I hopefully some of my viewers have small children, and you guys will sign up for my class. I will try to post this also on my Facebook page because I am actually trying to get this out there. So, and then I will continue that. I'm going to try to bring up some of my book groups, and I will probably try to use some of the books that I read on this channel. In fact, for my story time, if you guys want to know what stories I'm using, they are actual books I think I've reviewed on this channel. I'm doing Bathe the Cat, which is a favorite, and I really need to buy this. And Cat Wings, Back Wings, which are some old children's books that I've used. The Cat Wings, Back Wings we own, which is the reason it doesn't have a dust cover on it, because I do not like them and I have a small child. So, hopefully you have enjoyed this. You can check out the rest of the channel where I do mostly books and film reviews. I have no idea what's going on. I think I have, right, Princess Diaries, maybe June. I know. I've probably at least gone into Tamora Pierce, or if we're getting into the Guardians of Ga'Hoole. Again, I film that stuff way, way in advance. Not to mention coming up on LGBTQ History Month, so that stuff is incoming. So that is incoming on the regular stuff. So thank you for viewing. I hope to see you either in my class, or hopefully you can utilize Outschool, or check out the rest of my reviews. Thank you.